It is an analog vocoder. And let's hear the vocoder present on the Behringer VC340. Let's go over to our balance section, which is a mixer, and let's ignore it because that's not where you get the vocoder to come in. Let's go to the mic level in the vocoder and we'll bring that up. Now the mic level is really cool. You can see it's hearing me speak right now. You can see the green light lighting up. I'm moving over to talk directly into it. So you have a sense of how much, you know, what your mic level is so that you're not clipping or doing really gross things like that, which is unpleasant for vocoding. So then, like with the past two sections, you have to decide whether it's going to be lower or upper. Since we've already covered how lower and upper works extensively in the strings and human voice section, I'm just going to turn both of them on. And so now we just have vocoder over the entire keyboard, whether we're in low and high, and that's fine. So here is what the vocoder sounds like.
Check, check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Here it is in the low, low, low setting, 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 low setting. Check, 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay, that is, I will not include my actual vocal track of me chanting numbers in the final thing. Anyway, that is your vocoder sound. And I got to be honest with you, I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know what the specific material that my vocal harmonic variance is being applied to. Maybe there is like a waveform that is coming directly up, and there could be square waves or something coming off of the divide down oscillators. Maybe it's sawtooth waves coming from the string section. I am not sure, but basically whatever it's doing, it has been very well designed to identify a nice set of bandwidths which to draw information from to apply to that waveform and give you a really clear vocal sound. Because I don't know if you've used other vocoders, but it depends very much on what sound you're using, whether your voice is intelligible at all. And it was one of the things that I experienced with my VC340 is that I had to work to find a vocoder, I had to work to find a synthesizer sound that made my words intelligible. It wasn't always easy, but they've plainly fine-tuned this so that it's very intelligible.
Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
As you can see, and I was doing some kind of weird mouth stuff on that last one to just give you a sense of how clearly it was really tracking all of the variations in the timbre of my voice. Now what you might want to hear, first of all, let's talk about tone. So you have a tone control, and one of the great things that I loved about, for example, the Electric Light Orchestra's use of a vocoder is they often used sounds that made the words pretty much unintelligible, but they sounded cool. So you have the ability to sort of take some of the high frequency out of this vocoder sound.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 26, 27, 28, 29, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32.
All right, so that's you've got a tone slider, so you have some control over the brightness largely. Again, it's not really a filter sweep situation, but you have control over the brightness of the vocoder sound. You don't really have control over the timbre of the vocoder sound unless you connect it to a different instrument. The vocoder sound is so beautiful to my ears. I wasn't joking when I said earlier it was one of my favorite instruments. And I meant that in the sense that the human voice applied to the timbre of other instruments, especially the synthesizer, is particularly pleasing sound, which is why vocoders, which aren't that applicable in a lot of senses and really aren't used that much, especially in just standard music, which is, I find strange because it's such a beautiful timbre and it's very communicative and can be extremely expressive. That's why I'm totally happy with this sound as it is.
The sound as it is, the sound.
But someone might want it to have a little more life, a little more excitement, a little less robot, a little less, voice simulator. So there's an ensemble. The ensemble that's present here on all of the other sections can be applied here as well.
This is the vocoder ensemble, which makes it stereo and gives it some movement in the timbre. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
Yeah, that's right. You can, again, the vocoder is also working off the divide down circuit, so it's fully polyphonic. Let's listen to the release with the vocoder.
Check. It doesn't do anything. Oh, yeah, there it is.
Let's try that again.
Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
11. Yeah. So because of the way that the vocoder works, it needs you to continue to provide a signal for you to be able to hear that the release is present.
Release. Present. Still making sound.
So yeah, you don't have to hold keys, but you do have to continue to provide sound. Okay. Another thing we have to think about is the fact that the vibrato also can be applied to the vocoder. To be honest, I'm not sure why your vocoder needs vibrato. That's a weird thing. I'm going to take the ensemble off so we can hear the vibrato, and then I'll add the ensemble back.
Check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's take the release off. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28.
And you can use the delay time too.
1, 2, 11, 74.
So yes, you can also apply the vibrato to your sound if that's a sound you want. The opera singing robot. Okay, let's find a nice vibrato sound, and then we'll add the ensemble back.
Nice vibrato sound. Nice vibrato vibrato sound. Nice vibrato sound in your vocoder. Vocoder. Vibrato and ensemble. Vibrato and ensemble. Vibrato and ensemble. Vibrato and ensemble. Vibrato and ensemble.
And that is, for all intents and purposes, your vocoder present in the VC340. But I will point out, as applicable as that is, I mean, really, when you're looking for a vocoder sound, ultimately you're looking for the vocoder sound, which is to say, you want the voice applied to a synthesizer sound, and you want that to be clear because you're probably trying to say words through it. And that's that. So what they've given you is an applicable vocoder sound that you can use in a variety of ways, whether you want to do
a robot voice, a robot voice, a robot voice,
or if you want to do like pretty chords like we were doing.
pretty chords, pretty chords.
But if you want to do what was done with vocoders of the past and have a wide variety of timbres that you synthesizer timbres that you're vocoding, that is a great idea. So don't feel like you only have to use the vocoder that's present here, although it is a really fine vocoder choice. You can use this with any synthesizer. It has an input on the back, which is what this external synth input is for. And we're going to explore that in the next video. And after that, we're going to talk about the fact that, you know, you don't have to use a vocoder to apply a voice to a synthesizer. You can use a vocoder in a lot of different ways to apply different sounds to different sounds. And I will demonstrate that later as well. So that is the vocoding section of the Behringer Vocoder VC340.